in terms of what they were trying to accomplish.
Feel like we could talk another 2 hours about Endgame.
Oh, easily. Like, there's a million little things I'd love to go into, but
Give
I think
us your final thoughts, boys.
things, and if you're listening to this, you've probably, I mean, you've probably seen the movie, I hope. So, we don't need to go through every second of the movie.
And if you haven't seen the movie, you literally probably went to the worst source to hear about it.
That's what the Roundabout cast provides you. All right, y'all got anything else to say? It's probably still 5 out of 5. At worst, 4.5 for me.
It's
amazing movie. Joe, you got one in. Tyler, Bradley.
5 out of 5.
Easy 5 out of 5.
It's a 5 out of 5 for me.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
For the 4K box set of all 22 movies to come out.
Oh man, that's like going to be like an instant buy, I think, for me when I have money for it, because it's
good stuff.
It's good. Yeah.
All right. Bradley, since you wrote down your points for One Piece, let's do that and call it.
Yeah.
Let's go right into it.
Let everybody go after this. Everyone's probably very exhausted.
This is longest episode we've had for sure.
Yeah. One Piece was a pretty short segment last week. I was able to get some good progress this week, so I hope everybody is excited. I have a little more direction here. I wrote down the notes, the positives and negatives I want to talk about.
Let's hear them. You read up to the beginning of Baratie?
I'm a little bit into it. Luffy is currently chore boy, but I'm probably close to the beginning of it.
And it was so brave for Oda to actually fully do the 1 year of Luffy and the.
That would have been crazy.
I really like the setting of that. I think it's a fun setting, and from what I've heard of One Piece, that's not even close to the most interesting, unique setting we're gonna get.
I'm going to just be very brief because you're just getting started, but I think that arc is probably my lowest ranked arc of all of One Piece.
The one that introduces Sanji here.
Yeah, and the only reason why is because I think it just goes on for way too long.
See, Bradley is usually not affected by that. I think it goes. Yeah. I think one fight's too long. I really like the themes of the arc and.
Oh no, like everything else on it is fine, but I do agree that there's one fight that happens, and you're just like, can we move past this already?
Bradley, let's talk about Kuro and his arc.
Yeah, so we can do. One of my bullet points is about him. We can do the negatives before the positives, and there's not that many, actually.
Oh, okay, nice.
And I can just kind of read them word for word since I already typed them out as I would probably say them. So I didn't like Kuro that much. As far as design and personality, I thought he was a lot more bland than the extremely colorful Buggy that we had before him. His dialogue, I felt, was very cliche. During a lot of his fighting, I feel like you could almost predict what he was going to say before he said it. The most interesting thing to me about him and his ex-crew was all the cat-themed names for their attacks, which were really fun. Like, holy shit, they had so many puns I wouldn't think of.
Yeah.
And while Kuro, whatever... While he technically had a more interesting motivation than someone like Buggy, who's just a pirate being a pirate, in the end, he came off as less interesting. And I don't know, it might just be, I don't think his character design is as cool as Buggy, so
That's
I don't know.
I definitely feel the most positive about Kuro. Maybe Tyler likes him too. I know Joe doesn't very much. But what I like about Kuro is the fact that he is so excited at the prospect of killing Kaya, to me, is kind of fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Here you have this butler that's been just every day, you know he's thinking about like, oh, I can't wait to kill you. And like he kind of shows that pretty well, and Kaya is really distraught when like the truth is coming out. I really like how strategic he is. I actually like his design. The cat claws are dope. I like his little shit jacket. It's got little poops on it. Oda has acknowledged it, so it's canon. and I like how he's like, if you guys don't fucking finish off these scrub pirates in 5 minutes, I'm gonna kill everyone here with my attack.
Yeah, just like we get he's a monster, but does he have to be that much of a monster?
Well, he's so ready to clean everything so he can make his clean escape. I mean, he's his past kind of leads us to believe as such. So it's like I buy it. So
Yeah,
I like Kuro.
I just for me for Kuro is he almost is given a disservice. Like Kuro would have been better if he was a reoccurring character that went on for several arcs and then is revealed to be this big bad guy. I feel because
Sure.
you experience that journey almost like even a part of it. But like number one being is that he compared to his crew, I think he's very blandly designed. Even though he's cleverly designed, I think he's just very bland in his design. I think, and he's just I don't know that there's no quality to me, like Bradley said, that makes him fun. He's just kind of
I got you.
big monster man that's going to kill this girl, this sick girl.
He's very
Like,
he's pretty
okay.
serious. Yeah.
Yeah, and which is a huge contrast because man, no one in One Piece is serious.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but they all got some quirks. Tyler, do you got anything about Kuro?
Is it Koro?
The cat boy in the Usopp arc.
With the long finger knives.
This was a cool character. I really like claw hands.
Me too.
So that was just me. It kind of showed like pirates aren't always going to be just dumbasses. But you know, he hasn't come back. I seen like I think we've seen a glimpse or two of him,
Not even, but that's like spoilers.
maybe in the anime.
That's
I think during those filler bits, you know.
He hasn't even had a cover arc or anything. He's like the One Piece character who just disappeared off the face of the earth. All right, next point, Bradley.
Yeah, I only have one other negative point before we get into the stuff that I really liked and I'm excited to talk about. As far as the Usopp arc, so now in the current arc I'm in, I like Usopp a lot better.
Fair.
During his introductory arc, I didn't really sympathize with his plight a lot, and I think I talked about that last week.
You did, yeah.
I feel bad for his past for sure, and him losing his parents was that was very sad. I was actually touched when we kind of saw that scene. But in the present day, despite that and his explanation for why he does the stuff that he does, he still kind of comes off as an ass to me.
Still a punk bitch.
Like I'm mostly talking about his like extremely dutiful annoyance of the entire town. Like his resolve not to tell the town about the actual invasion was honorable when it was happening. But kind of like I think I said this exact sentiment last week, but when the few people find out that the pirates actually are coming and that Usopp was right, they, and especially Mary, are like, oh no, why didn't we listen to him? He was actually a brave young man. I feel so bad. And I'm like, you don't have to feel bad. Why would you listen? Like, you had every reason not to believe him. In an alternate universe where Koro actually was Kaya's faithful butler and not planning to kill her, I'd probably be totally on his side, and I was totally on his side until we found out he was evil.
Nice. Let's do the positives.
The positives. So, I really love the moment at the end of the Usopp arc when Usopp was heading out to sea at the same time as Luffy's gang, and as he's climbing into his ship, they're like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, come get on our ship."
Yeah, so good.
That's a great moment.
The entire time you've been reading the arc, you've just kind of assumed the outcome is going to be Usopp joining the crew. And I like how confident Oda is because he knows that he's presented his story in such a way that the reader would be thinking the exact same thing that Luffy and Zoro are thinking. And I just kind of like that he was able to do that. Like, Luffy and Zoro say exactly what he knows the reader's thinking. Like, what? Usopp's not joining? Like, come on. Like, get on ship.
Come on, man. Everybody knows. I like how Usopp is like, yeah, can I be captain?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the part where Zoro's just like, he literally is like has his back turned to him and he's just like, get on the ship. Like, yeah.
Yeah, they're very matter of fact about it. I really like Usopp's goodbye with his crew.
Yeah.
Very much.
Another thing I liked that was pretty short, it was like one or two panels where, Usopp and Luffy are doing their thing like, oh, who's going to be captain? I'm going to be captain, whatever. And Usopp's like, fine, I'll let you be the captain for now, but if you ever show cowardice, I'm going to take over in a heartbeat. And Luffy immediately responds with fine with me. And if
Ooh.
any other character said this, I would interpret it as them just kind of brushing Usopp off like, yeah, whatever, you can take over. But with Luffy, I believe he actually truly means it. He's like, yeah, if I ever show cowardice, that's unbecoming of a captain, and I'll be fine with you taking over.
Good freaking point, man. That's a good catch.
Yeah.
So I really like that line.
I will say I actually think that comes up again, I think, later in a very special arc, Willard, that you know about.
Yes.
The arc, I think, of One Piece. The quintessential One Piece arc, I feel.
Yes.
So yeah, but that is a good catch.
Very nice. I'm glad to hear it. Last big positive point. This is another one that it was kind of only like 1 or 2 panels, but it really stuck out to me. So pretty much immediately after Luffy defeats the like Black Cat pirates and they're all gone, he kind of lays down exhausted on the beach and he's talking with Nami. And he just kind of reflects on the experience, and he's just like, God, those pirate, like, he's like, I hate them. They're no good. Like, how could they do this stuff? And Nami looks at him and she's like, Luffy, they're pirates.
Yeah.
And kind of in a way where you can just imagine her tone being like, what did you expect? Like, this is,
Yes.
you know how pirates make their living, right?
Yeah.
But
It's
there's
very.
a reason,
Yeah.
hold on, there's a reason I
Go
really like this. While Nami probably has a way stronger inherent bias against pirates than most people, she kind of has a point. I think the line shows how different Luffy and his personality and ambitions are to most of the rest of the pirates in the world. He's going to be king of the pirates, and he's going to do it differently than most pirates might.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, this made me realize that Luffy is always so adamant about doing things like a true pirate and behaving the way he believes a real pirate should. But he's so very different than most of the pirates we've seen up to this point. And I realized that growing up, pretty much the only pirates he interacted with were Shanks and his crew. And Shanks is a very honorable pirate, almost like anomalously honorable. And since Shanks and his crew are Luffy's like reference for what a pirate is, Luffy has a much brighter image of what a true pirate is in his head than, say, the people in the rest of the world who only know pirates as people who raid their towns. So when Luffy encounters these violent pirates doing things that pirates do, he sees them as the weird ones. Oh, they're not acting like true pirates, but it's probably more accurate that they're being normal pirates and doing what pirates do. But this made me realize that I think over the course of this epic journey that Luffy is getting into, I think a big part of it will be that his influence will spread, and throughout the world, he will influence and change what people see as being a true pirate, and he will change the image of what a pirate is. And
Damn.
that's all I have to say about that.
That's some good analysis. Luffy has a very, very specific worldview of what a pirate is, and I think it very much stems from the freedom and the adventure of a pirate, and those are his big takeaways. He doesn't have the greed that also comes with being a pirate, and I think that really sets him apart from these early crews that we're meeting. It also shows like he has an inherent resolve. Like, this kid is super tough, super strong, super brave, and it's not just because he's the main character. It's more like the story could only follow this kind of guy in this world. The story has to follow someone with this kind of mindset. Like, he's the only one that could do it.
Absolutely. Because like the kind of person Luffy is, like, I kind of knew about his personality going in, and I traditionally don't like characters like Luffy, but the reason I like him in One Piece is because of how starkly he contrasts the kind of people he's fighting. Because like in Dragon Ball Z, Goku is very much like
Fight
the
boy.
villains he fights, but Luffy is a very different kind of pirate, it seems, and I think that contrast is what makes him interesting. So
Alrighty.
I was very excited to share that stuff. I'm getting some good stuff out of One Piece.
I mean, I like that. You gave it a 3 out of 5, which gave Joe the prediction point.
Yeah, at least for Usopp. But there was definitely stuff in there that I liked, and I tried to bring that out.
Me and Joe try to predict how much Bradley would like the arc, so we're keeping a tally. And
We all love
who's winning, Joe?
Another.
You're winning by 1 point, I think.
Good. Next arc, we're both. Well, this arc would be a big deciding one, but then the arc after that, we're both getting a point. So
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't give it the score that we think you're gonna give it, we're gonna be shocked because, what I was gonna say about Nami, that line is that I feel like that will become even more relevant in the arc after the one you're currently reading.
Yeah.
Because not to give anything away, but that's a very Nami-centric arc.
mm-hmm. Nami's great.
Yeah.
What are your early impressions on Baratie before we wrap up here?
I love the setting. I think it's very interesting. I think even just the individual background chefs kind of have their own fun personality.
Yeah.
Sanji is kind of instantly likable for me.
Very cool guy.
Obviously, I don't know much about him, but he kind of seems like a more stylish combat Brock. So
You're not wrong.
You're super right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like it.
But man, Sanji to me is up there in top 5, maybe even top 3 of the Straw Hat crews and people in One Piece in general. And I gushed about this previously on how it's sitting with you, and that was even before I read an arc that changed my hope. Not really changed, but really solidified my perspective on Sanji.
Big Sanji things later on.
Big, huge Sanji things, and Sanji is a great character, and
He's
I love
such a
it when
rock, you know.
he
to the
is.
crew.
Well,
you already know he's joining, so
Yeah,
that's not a spoiler.
He knows the One Piece rap, duh.
True. You know that there's an LADY Nami's not fly.
I'm just not shy.
Whatever, man. Zolo.
But I hope you enjoy Baratie, even though I kind of
I think he will.
halfway through I kind of dragged my head through the wood. I felt like when I was reading it.
I'm very satisfied because 2 of those points were just I got that much out of one line that a character said.
Yeah.
And you're not even wrong for looking that deep into it. Oda is doing that on purpose.
I'm extremely satisfied with what I'm getting out of these characters. I thought because One Piece in my mind has always just kind of been one of those standard oh yeah, it's just one of those
shonen manga.
I was like, oh, it's just one of those little battle shonens. But yeah, so I never expected the characters to have
depth,
the kind of depth I'm already finding, even though you guys have always told me. But in those few lines, I'm seeing it here. I really like it.
If you find it this way, I find it hard to introduce One Piece because I feel like the first 4 arcs, this one they're about to finish,
East
included.
Blue. Yeah.
Well, not all of East Blue, but these first 4 arcs are very shonen. And I'm like, oh man, people are out here watching Macadamia, Boku no Pico, fucking One Punch Man, fucking Full Metal Alchemist,
Boku no Pico,
Boku no Pico de Gallo, JoJo's. It's hard. This is from the 90s, it doesn't have the uniqueness of JoJo, so it's will people like it? But the fact you're seeing the depth already, because it's easy to overlook, because Luffy is such a goofy guy. All the characters are very fun and colorful. But the fact that you're seeing this really solidifies the fact that I think you'll really like after these next few arcs where One Piece starts hitting its literary stride. Because
I was expecting this early on to get this kind of depth out of the characters, but I'm already seeing some stuff that works.
I can't wait to hear you talk about Arlong Park, because Arlong Park is up there for me in terms of really solidifying what One Piece is.
I want to hear him talk about Drum Kingdom.
So
oh my god, Drum Kingdom. Oh god.
That's such a Bradley arc.
That'll be next time on the Rooster Teeth podcast.
No.
Right. Gavin signing out. Bradley, do you have... So Tyler had to dip out. So Bradley, if you have a theoretical, we can do it, or we can just, this is the longest episode ever, so we can just also just...
This is the end games of Roundabout podcast. This is it. We've been building to this moment.
you walk into a bar and Black Panther slaps your girl on the ass. What are you gonna do?
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. I am proud of my king.
I remember I'd asked this question to Joe before, and he gave me the best answer. I was like, Joe, Black Panther slaps your girl's ass. What are you gonna do? And he's like, I turn to him and I say, Wakanda forever.
All right, everyone, keep it
right.
classy.
Yeah. Bye.
Never forget Wakanda forever. Bye bye.